I started over and it says I'm live. Hope I didn't lose everybody. I probably lost everybody because I had to end that storm. But I'm back. And it looks like all my participants have bailed on me. They all went to the beach. Right, Church. I hope the audio is working. I think the audio is working because now I got little audio markers that are jumping up and down. So if anybody's there, give me a thumbs up. Give me a like. Give me an indication. Shoot a miss or something. I don't know. In any case, let me start over. This video live stream is basically a test for me to make sure that I can figure all this technological stuff out. Um, they're going to get the more technologically challenged I become. In any case, this is just one big test for me. I didn't pick no topic to talk about because I was going to leave that up to the participants, if anybody shows up there. I had a few in here before, and I'll be going. But give me a chat. Let me turn my chat thing back on here. Out of chat. Okay, chat is on. Chat is on. Okay, I got one like. Does that mean you can hear me? If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. If I've got audio, I think I just alienated everybody. I said, screw that guy living in the Pacific. He don't know what the hell he's doing. Anyway, I'm going to talk to myself here for a while, I guess. Let me start over again. The reason for this live stream was just basically a test to see if I could figure it all out. To see how we're interested in working that show up. I had never done a live stream before, so this is a first for me. Okay, now I got BGX guy. That's my buddy Bory up in Toronto. Where's he got for 4 cards? I'm there. But he gave me a one kill me out here, so it's working. I got a few people in here. What I was planning on doing was just, after this live stream is over, I can know how long it lasts. I'm going to repurpose this video. I'm probably going to just go back in and save it as a file and re-edit, throw in some visuals and shoot for some added context and maybe some graphics. And, just treat it as a regular video and then repurpose it, as I say. To see what kind of traction I can get with it. I'd like to mention, really, nobody can hear me. And I didn't set this up within a specific topic. I was going to leave that up to my audience to choose the topic and ask questions, which that basically helps me out when I do repurposes. When you I can add keywords and tags and stuff to the particular topics that we're talking about. Yeah. Anyway, for the benefit of any new viewers, I'm Randy. I wrote the Living in the Pacific YouTube channel. I've been doing this for well over 8 years. I started the channel in 2014, but I really didn't do anything for a couple of years until 2016. I really lived in Tubby City, Samar. We had retired really from the U.S. because it was starting to get crazy back then. Some people recognized dreaming, and I was in real estate at the time. I was hard charged in real estate for about 12 years, and then that's what crashed and burned. That a lot of other people in the industry did during the mortgage crisis, 2008 and into 9. I kept my license for a couple of years after that. And did a few things. In 2012, I decided to bail. It was just that tough. I closed down my brokerage. I gave my license up in 2013 and sort of settled in footprints until I built a house there. We got there in 2013. We finished the house. We went to it. And we stuck off for about 4 years. Years ago, we did a lot of trapping, a lot of time. Till second, added on to the house. You can go back to all my video. I have a playlist called uh, Expanded Paradise. And I've got a lot of my construction stuff in that playlist. It's interesting. Well, recently, since we've been gone for about 7 years now, we spent 4 years in the Philippines. We moved to Guam because Terry's residency, she got flagged with her residency. She has a permanent green card, had a permanent green card for 27 years. And because we spent a little bit too much time out of the States and in the Philippines, she got flagged on a trip to Guam one time when they threatened to take her green card away. So then we decided, well, okay, it's time to get citizenship. But we found out we had to, she lost her residency. After 27 years of living and working in the United States, she lost her residency over a little technicality because she stayed 1 extra month outside the United States. Too long. So 5 years we had to start. Yep, 5 years, not 3, 5. And after spending that much time on Guam, we decided Guam was a pretty good fit. Well, we were stuck here also during the pandemic. We couldn't do a lot of traveling, but we found Guam was a pretty good fit for us. So we're still here. We've been traveling back and forth. I've been to PI, I think, 2 or 3 times in the last year. A trip to Japan in the middle somewhere. And we're heading back. Next week, we'll be back in Samar. And to finish on his backstory, a lot of people in the past have asked me, why Samar? Why did you settle in Samar? Well, that's where the family's at. And I tell most guys, you're not going to pick an island. An island's going to pick you. And depending on where your girlfriend or your wife or a spouse was from, 95% of the time, that's where you're going to live. Because family means everything to Filipinos, and they're not going to live away from family unless they absolutely have to. So that's why we chose Samar. And Samar was kind of like unbroken ground. Not really unbroken, but the path least traveled, as I guess you'd say. When I got to Calbayag, there was just a handful of us foreigners. There was probably less than 20 foreigners on the whole west coast of Samar. In Calbayag itself, there was probably less than 10. Now it's just crazy. There's people there I've never seen, never met. People building houses, expats are building houses, driving cars. Calbayag, when we first moved there, was a sleepy little enclave. And since then, they've built basically a super metro, a grocery store, a new Gaisano mall, 4 floors with a handyman, and all the other little shops, and there's a Gaisano grocery. So basically, we got 2 big new grocery stores, a mall, all kinds of new restaurants, McDonald's, Norwich Pizza, Shakey's. There's some new seafood places that have opened up. We're still looking for a yellow cab. One of my friends is looking for a yellow cab. He's been looking for it for years. But I don't think yellow cab's coming. But we've got a City Hardware now, and a do-it-yourself hardware. Well, before when I first got to Calbayag, there was maybe 5 or 6 hardware stores in town, and none of them you could go into. You'd have to go to the counter and ask them for something, which was really inconvenient. But there was one store there that was called Ace Hardware, but it's not really an Ace brand. Versco, I think the name of the place. Versco, local name, Versco Ace Hardware. It was the only store that you could actually go into and walk around down the aisles and pick up and look at the merchandise and take what you wanted to the register and check out. There was only one store like that. It wasn't a big store, but most all of the stores were not, stand at the counter and order what you want. And half the time, contrary to what people might say, English is not widely spoken in Samar. Well, some people do, the educated folks can speak English, but your average everyday worker, taxi cab driver, well, not taxi cab driver, pedicab driver, tricycle driver, jeepney driver, shop owner, shop worker, nobody speaks English. So trying to find a product, trying to describe a product to a clerk is nearly impossible. The best thing to do is have a cell phone and have pictures of what you want on your cell phone. And I know what you want, sir. That works. Anyway, not many hardware stores in Calbayag. Um, when I was building my house, and most of the raw materials that we used for the house were available there: concrete rebar, um, all that stuff, electrical stuff, plumbing stuff was all available there. But the selection of floor tiles uh, and housing amenities like bath fixtures and stuff like that, it was pretty limited. We had made a couple trips down to Tacloban and bought some stuff for the house while we were putting the house together. But now everything's there. Like I said, City Hardware pretty much has everything. If you're not familiar with a City Hardware, it's a big box store, kind of like a Home Depot, uh, but it doesn't have nearly the stuff Home Depot has, but it has a lot of stuff. Um, so things are better in that front. And when I get back next week, we had just finished a construction project while we were gone. Uh, when I was there last, when I leave there November, um, I set my foreman loose and gave him the plans and the drawings, and we put something together on the upper deck. It's a shade covering. I built an upper deck over the shop and the storeroom, and I just had it walled in and covered. We lost our view of the ocean because people to the foreshore side of our property built a house, and all the roof is in the way. We can see part of the ocean, but can't see all the ocean like we had before. Unless I go up another story, then not. If I go up another story, I'll have my ocean view back. In any case, we're getting a little anxious to get back and sit out and watch the sunset from the deck. And I just lost my power here. And it's good to see that the peso to the dollar is at 59 today, which just jumped up from about 58 yesterday, the day before. 59 pesos to a dollar. I'm not sure what a beer runs these days, but they're not cheap anymore. A lot of people are telling me that even in the Philippines, prices have gone up. Just got a message from Phil M. Mike. I'm moving to the Philippines in September. Cool. Where are you going, Mike? You know what area you're going to? With a girlfriend, a wife, or solo? Solo, you have a lot of options. A lot of guys will choose to stay maybe in the western Visayas or south, down toward Mindanao, to get out of the typhoon belt. I mean, you're still in the typhoon belt, but the frequency of storms to the south, from the central Visayas, western Visayas, and south, the frequency of storms is a lot less. The Philippines gets, on average, 20 tropical storms a year. Some of them are typhoons, not all of them, but 20 storms a year affect the Philippines. Philippines is probably one of the most affected countries in the world when it comes to tropical storms and disturbances. Yeah, in the world. Rob Marr, hello from Bangkok. It's amazing to catch your live stream. It's amazing I'm even on. I had trouble with starting the first one. My audio went out on me, and I had to reboot, and I lost a few people, and now it looks like I'm getting some back. But yeah, it's kind of cool to be doing this. I've never done a live stream before. I was always worried that sometimes I get my tongue in front of my eyes and can't see a word I'm saying. So live streams can be intimidating for some people. I'm just always more comfortable shooting video and editing a video. I like the challenge and and the creativity involved in making videos like I do. I've come a long way since my first videos some 8 years ago. Please don't watch them. I know, go ahead and watch them if you want to, but don't don't uh, don't shoot me. I've gotten better, and I keep getting better. And I think that's part of my problem is um, I start feeling really comfortable with these editing software programs, the one that I use, and I feel like the next video I have to better myself from the previous video, and it's an anal side of me, I guess, but it makes my editing even longer than it really should be. Jack LeMay, Jack's here in Guam. Hey Jack, what's going on? Glad you showed up. Rob Marr, he lived in Guam for 6 years, 2004 to 2010, when he retired from the Navy. Yeah, I was here. I was stationed in the Navy here in Guam in '74. I got here, married a Chamorro girl. Uh, that lasted about 9 years. But anyway, long story, which I will not go into here. But anyway, I did 2 tours in Guam in the '70s, '74 to '76, '78 to '80, about 5 years total. And I always say that I've always said this, that Guam is an affliction there's no cure for. Once you live and experience this island, unlike many other islands, it bites you, it grabs a hold of you, and there's no cure. The only cure for me was to come back. Um, I remember when right after the real estate crash in 2008, I was sitting at my desk at home one day, and I was looking at some pictures of Guam, and there was a job vacancy for National Weather Service here, and uh, I've got 25 years experience with the Navy and the National Weather Service in Tupelo, Mississippi. So I asked Terry, I says, hey, what do you think about just up and moving to Guam? There's an opening there for a weather forecaster. And she looked at me like I was crazy. We just built a brand new house on a golf course, and we had everything was going good for us there, but it's going good for her and her business. But my business was really suffering with the downturn in the real estate business in the economy. So I suggested to her we move to Guam. She just looked at me like I was crazy. Of course, she had never been to Guam at that time, so she didn't know what to expect. 3 years later, we were on an airplane to the Philippines. But anyway, now we're here in Guam, and she don't want to leave. I can't get her to move back to the Philippines. She's just way too many activities here. She's involved in uh, hula fitness and Zumba fitness, and this morning she's at the beach doing Tai Chi. She plays pickleball. She goes to the gym, and she goes shopping. But no, she's in love with Guam. She got a lot of friends here. Guam is, as Rob can attest, he spent some time here. Guam is like the little Philippines. 42% of the total population here is Filipino. There's Filipino food, Filipino stores. The Filipino culture is here. We bowl. That's another thing she likes to do. She likes to bowl, and we bowl in a league on Thursday nights, and it's called the Family Fun League, FFL. But I coined it the Filipino Fun League because 98% of the bowlers on the league are Filipino. There might be a couple white guys and a black guy and a couple Chamorros. But other than that, the whole league is Filipino, which is fun. We enjoy it. We play it. We play it. We enjoy playing. Rob used to live in Alapong Beach Tower. I'd like to live there, but it's just too expensive, Rob. I think uh, rents at Alapong are, gosh, probably 2,200 and up, more like 25, 26, 2,800 maybe. But uh, our condo here we're paying 1,300 a month, which I got that price when I moved here 7 years ago, and because we're good tenants, uh, they've never raised our rent, which I hope they don't, because we might have to move back to the Philippines. Um, but yeah, I'd love to live in a place, Alapong. It's right on the beach, got a nice view of the ocean. Um, the price. But now I will say this: the rents here in Guam, coming out of the pandemic, uh, they've slowly been coming down. There's been a lot of pricing pressure on things here, even with inflation the way it's been. Um, the prices and rents here, a lot of people are leaving the island. A lot of the young people, because they can't find decent jobs here that pay enough to live here, so they're all going back to the mainland. And what that's done for the vacancy rate is higher than it has been in the last probably 5 to 8 years. So there's a lot of vacancies. There's a lot of opportunities to negotiate with some of these landlords. Say, look, I'll sign a long-term lease with you if you knock $500 a month off the rent. And the chances are you can find somebody that's willing to work with you on a long-term lease. Um, Now we got some friends downstairs that their landlord just finally proposed raising their rent on them, citing expenses are going up. Well, and here's my take on that. I think the reason a lot of these landlords might be raising rates, rent rates, is because these mega landlords, say a guy that owns maybe 10 apartment or condo units, and half of them are vacant. Naturally, he's going to raise the rent on the other five to make up the money he can't pay the mortgage with on the first five. So they're looking to fill their losses by increasing rents, which is not the way to do it. I mean, the best way is to, if they've got mortgage issues and they can't make the mortgage payments, give it back to the bank or renegotiate with the bank on some better terms. But to raise the rents on people when inflation is killing people, it's not a good thing. So I'm hoping we're in here for the long term at the amount of money we pay. We're sitting pretty good. Rob says he paid $1,800 back for a 2-bedroom. Yeah, that was like 14 years ago. Yeah. Well, I said, well, 2,400. All right. The military and housing rates is what drives a lot of these rents. If a landlord here has a condo or an apartment or a house that meets government standards, it has to be inspected, it has to be approved to go on the government list. If you have a unit here that's military standard, they're going to get $2,205, which is the exact same amount that the housing allowance is for most insurance firms. It's funny how they work there. The federal government will pay $205 and these vendors. If you there's a I go online for a place called Guam Rentals. If you just search Guam Rentals, there's a type of site that search Guam Rentals on. And if you look through there, about 50% of all the rentals available are all starting out at $2,205. That's the exact military. There's units in my building here that went 2 doors down. The next building was $2,205. Same unit, 2 bed, 2 baths. 350 square feet. That a lot of those are sitting out there. So about to let fill them up, guys. That's where I go. Wow, looks like I got 6 people. Blair and Toronto. Those are watching everything you should turn Toronto or you know not the Philippines, but can't keep track right now. Yeah, Rob says the OHA housing allowance is high for military, so they don't they don't want to housing. They get expected so that 22 I know some more project did where he finally dropped from 2205 to 2195. That's a big difference. $15 $15 or you should 2 big nets right there that show that the data is all right guys, we're gonna talk about the let's see. I was hoping that so much I just didn't mention so um, Oh yeah, I left off on that railway, might be right direction. After spending 4 years in the Philippines, I moved to Guam. And I stayed there because Taylor had to finally got her, girls what she knows, she got her citizenship. You need 2 years August. It has made travel for her a lot easier. I mean, she couldn't get to Japan without applying for a Japanese visa, but they only got took managed to work and also to accomplish it. Now she just gets out there and do it nice. It's so much easier to have that powerful blue classic. Uh, I gave up my 13-day visa. I was a permanent resident, so if I had a 13-day visa, makes me that left started and completely when we were still in Mississippi. You got that issue either. I let that expire. Every time we left the island, or left the Philippines, I would be charged to me the word. I think it's like 20 in dollars at the time, but with the shows were like $66. Every time I left the island, it cost me $66. She went for a departure fee to the Philippines. So $100 just to leave the down country. So I let the 13-day expire, and now because we travel back and forth at will, we just own the country on good buying privilege. Even though she got her citizenship, she still goes to the direct path or trying to think her. I can enter the country with her as under good buying privilege. It's not a visa dollars. It's not some guy I see it all the time. It's a $1 visa. Oh, it's got a visa. It's a blood buying privilege is a visa free stay for their year. I guys think it's a visa. It's not a visa. The in your passport, they would just stamp the regular entry stamp, and then write in BB, pick the expiration date on it. So it's a year. So that's free, visa free entry. But anyway, traveling in the blood buying is a whole lot cheaper. It's a whole lot easier. You can come multiple times a year. Anytime you come, it resets the one you stay. It's rare that wherever privilege to. If you do overstay or look very privilege, you just extend it and then it turns into a tourist weekend. Then you got to pay the fees for extensions. But I don't oversee a staying there over a year and going to St. Coast. It's only 1,500 miles, 3.5 hours by air. So we just keep going back and forth. Rod says his son is currently a foreman. Cool. There are no longer restrictions on the bachelor housing rights. I mean, it's a set amount. Yeah, it used to be when I was younger, we used to call it BAT, bachelor allowance for quarters. The amount varied depending on the pay grade. The higher the pay grade, the more money that they live on this. That's right. Well, I think it's just on a flat rate anymore. It's $2,200. What am I talking about? Let's talk about the weather. I've been watching the weather in the Philippines, and I know it's been hot. I just a week ago, maybe some of you are not familiar with this term, but called the no shadow day. Shadow day hotness basically twice a year, but it's usually hotter than anything. But the no shadow day is when the sun is moving north across the summer sky, into the summer spring sky. Then the zenith is directly overhead, or the sun's rays are directly perpendicular to the surface of the earth. There is no angular insulation or reflect the sun rays. The sun rays are straight down. If you put an object, any kind of object, on a sidewalk or on the ground, and at a specific time of day, between 12 and 2 o'clock. For some of them, it's ever 2:02 in the afternoon. There would be absolutely no shadow in an object because service was totally perpendicular to the object. And it's hot. April has always been the hottest month in the Philippines because they're coming out of the dry season in most areas, and the summer is directly overhead, and we're moving north, in the Habagat, which is the southwest monsoon. Right now, I think we're kind of stuck between the Amihan, which is the northeast monsoon, and the Habagat, which is the southwest monsoon. We're kind of in limbo between the two meteorological features, and it's hot. There's been no wind. Chocolate Hills are on fire from what I understand. And of course, Luzon, the Visayas, and even Mindanao, that there's been some record high temperatures set this last week or two. Uh, they're not blowing these records out of water. It might be 2/10 or 3/10 of a degree, or maybe half a degree in some places, but they're setting records. The climate alarmists will have you believe it's because of global warming, but heat records are being set just saying that in the thermometer. And I got to think, I was talking about this the other day. Now that technology is getting better, our measuring instruments are becoming more accurate. So think about this. Maybe we weren't accurate when measuring the temperature 30, 40, 50 years ago. Maybe now we're accurately measuring it. It's showing us much higher than we measured it 40 years ago. So it's actually getting warmer. I don't know. What's half degree, 2/10 of a degree? Come on. So, if it goes, if it jumps up 10 degrees every year, then I'd be doing on it from there. And that, let's see the oceans rise. And that's another thing. Years ago, I talked to an old fisherman in a couple of places. One was Samar, and one up in Stupid area. Old guys. I mean, these guys were in their 80s and almost 90s, and just retired fishermen. And through interpretation, and I asked them, have they experienced any huge changes in the tides in their lifetime? From the time they first started fishing in their teens to the time they retired fishing in their late 80s, did they notice any, is there any noticeable change in the water levels? And everyone of them said that. There's something there. I understand that that's why taking place was actually rarely so much for next invasions. I'm sure some invasions are messing, but over the course of 10,000 years, there's essentially, let's see, the heat index, we're in mankind, 110 to 120 for us to, yeah, I think there's this high pressure ridge that extends from the mid Pacific all the way across the Western Pacific, across the Philippines, into South, into the Indo-Pacific areas is where the island tolerant areas. Yeah, this ridge is pretty well set up. If it were up north, in Oregon and north south, we'd call it a blocker high or a blocker ridge. For those sending land trust systems and moving in that direction. But this ridge is pretty well entrenched into all across Southeast Asia. So record temperatures all across. I mean, Vietnam and Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, and Philippines, hot. I was looking at some weather maps yesterday. And I'll turn you guys on there. This guy, if you're not familiar with it, his name is I guess. Let's see what happens when you get it over. You guys are your website Westpac Weather. Westpac, you'll see weather at WF.com. And he's an ex-Navy meteorologist. I think he's degree in broadcast meteorology. He worked on Japan for a long time, but I think he's back in the States. But he focuses mainly on the Western Pacific, like Japan. A lot of thinker, I think his wife might be Filipino, but she's Western, same as part of the world. But so he focuses his weather efforts a lot on from Guam westward to Japan, to the Philippines. I was watching his channel the other day, and some of the models that he uses, are indicating there might be a tropical storm relics for a tropical storm formation just to the east of Mindanao. Look, suspect, which this time of year, I mean, those that have happened, they could turn out if it stretched north in terms of north out, they could build a lot of rain, much needed rain to maybe Mindanao, eastern Mindanao, is sure the showers, which should be good. Uh, just about the time you get back, it's start raining over there. That's okay. Rather let the rain than the heat. Okay, let's see here. Not super duper. I didn't expect a lot of people to show up for this first milestone. And like I said, I'm not, because I have the East Island, I'm not an artist to you, but so those of you in the Philippines, across Southeast Asia, it's in the heat. I haven't been, somebody had asked me about escaping from the United States and leaving us there. And I think as soon as we're on sort of universities, uh, the whole geopolitical, the United States is jealous in a geopolitical mess. Uh, China and Russia are just, looking down on those else. Uh, half the world's got their hand now. Ukraine's got, Zelensky. Uh, half the people in the United States are starving, can't feed themselves, and Zelensky's living high and long. He's probably the prime minister every day. But the whole idea of escaping the United States is it's getting tough to live there. If you're on a fixed income with the way the inflation, and I heard this morning that the Feds are worried that they don't quite have inflation under control like they thought they did. So now that they're postponing any interest rate cuts, keep the interest rates where they're at. Well, inflation is crazy. A lot of guys just can't live on your own. It's hard to make it unless you live on a dumpy mobile home somewhere, or even on a well water. But there's this term that I used to use called escapism. Um, it's a process that deals with maybe years of savings, planning, followed by a mass liquidation of all liquidation of our assets, which leads to living life in the Tropic Shade or a tropic island something. That's escapism. Um, a lot of guys that look and live their life vicariously through a lot of us YouTubers getting out here and spreading the word. If they would just learn to dematerialize themselves, start selling stuff. You don't need all this stuff. Well, all this stuff I got here, collect all this things, I moved on. I mean, we got a whole house full of stuff in the Philippines. Half this stuff I don't need. But we just collect stuff. I got this shirt that I bought from a shading channel in Washington that said, "Don't buy a couch." The problem, if you buy a couch, you can't go anywhere. Once you buy a couch, then you buy a refrigerator. When you buy a refrigerator, you buy an air conditioner. Once you buy an air conditioner, you buy a whole business. Now you can't go anywhere because you got all this stuff. So I've been suggesting to guys just start liquidating your assets, start selling. Still the stuff you don't need. Get out of real estate, right, man. That's a real topic for discussion, but in a nutshell, why should I own a house and pay taxes on the house that I live in that I bought with money that I paid taxes on? Where the tax will help me understand. I live in Guam, there's no sales tax per se, but there's a GRT, industrial receipts tax. It's added in everything that you buy. So people complain, well, I'm paying $5 for it really well. And there's probably a 5%, 6% GRT added to that. So that's something we're going to manage your mileage on, those tax receipts. We're in a surplus that's irrelevant. How and how that can be possible when tourism we go is at 46% of pre-pandemic levels. It was all the TRT telling thing. A lot of people left the island. The tourists aren't showing up. The Koreans are showing up, but the Japanese aren't showing up. Uh, I think the Japanese yen yesterday was around 53 right? We in Japan 2 months ago, it was 148. I was like loving it. We all said 153 or 155 to 1. But the Japanese can't afford to come to Guam. The dollar so strong against the yen. So we're not showing Japanese tourists. We're showing some Koreans, but instead, only at 46% of pre-pandemic levels. Japanese, the hotel rooms are, well, half the hotel rooms are empty. Restaurants are doing the business they used to be done a little bit too now. So we're good. Guam gets the surplus I had now. I think they're raping their own island people. That's what they're getting at. So in any case, that's where they're going. So you guys maybe want to move out this direction. Start saving money. Stop spending money on stuff for cooking at home. It's all even junk. Clean the house out. Clean out the attic. Sell the property. We'll pay taxes on it going forward. I bet some guys out here that they still hold on to the real estate back there. They say, "Oh, I got it rented out." But there's some guy told me the other day that he had a house rented out for about 2 years. He's been in the Philippines. He went back in the house and just been for 15, $25 in damage. That's the problem when we're out on site. We're out on site landlord that are away from the property. You're not in this way. It would cost you a million to think. Oh, God, I'm feeling less of a question here. I'm glad you should talk with us. Thanks for being talkative, Rob. How's that new Japanese store? The donkey. The Don Donkey. Well, here they call it the Militant Donkey. The donkey store chain is owned by a Japanese conglomerate called Don Quixote. And I think they've got 637 stores across Japan, Singapore, Hawaii, some Southeast Asia, and now the biggest one they've got is in Guam. It's gosh, 260,000 square feet. We have the world's largest Kmart here, supposedly. It makes a Kmart look small, but the store itself is full of about 40% of product in there is all Japanese brands, which is kind of interesting. Because Japanese it has some cool foods and snacks. The hard part is it's all bringing it up here. So you just get like all the trial and error for people that aren't familiar with it. You just say, "Oh, that looks good," and try it, and if you like it, then you know what you buy it. But product recognition is many of us Westerners are used to. Even with filter, we see a lot of imported products and filters, and we recognize those labels. We know what it is. We don't even have to read the label. We know exactly what it is. Like the package of Oreo cookies, you can see them all over. You know they can Oreo cookies. But when we get this strange packaging that's all written in Japanese, it's kind of hard to understand what the heck you buy, what you're eating. You octopus balls, or little octopus balls. That in stores, it's a lot of stuff in there. Some prices are seemingly high. Of course, Terry and I, being retired military, we have base privileges. So we shop at the commissary for our food, which is about a 30% savings over at the town shopping. But sometimes, like the payment stores here, or the chain of maybe like 7 or 8 stores. Well, sometimes in the seafood section, chicken, pork, we see prices that are very comparable with the commissary prices. Actually, I think they're finished. Their whole fish prices are cheaper than the commissary. In some cases, so a lot of traders bring the fish and buys your fish. Buy all the other stuff that the commissary go with. The donkey has a full grocery section. Now the import stuff, like Fuji Japanese or Fuji Japan, all this stuff is going to store on trails and now Japanese strawberries. Now they're about $7 or $8 for the porch, maybe. I don't know. I've seen we'll look at pretty much for like $15. It's only like half the cost of pretty. So it's a third, it's like a Walmart on steroids. You know, look at the one. We got a food court. Well, food court is humongous. It's got an olive garden. It's got a sushi restaurant. It's got a bunch of other than smaller with shops. And once they all get set up and running, I guess it's olive garden a bit more. Like that, but once they all get up and running, it's going to be a pretty busy place. So most of it's retail, and part of the store is set up on the mall with nothing but eateries and restaurants. So kind of cool. And then downstairs they have book sales, which I'm sure a lot of these mom and pop stores around town will be getting the basement looking for book sales where they can buy the book sale, resell it at their store, retail person. And all the liquor is downstairs, right? I think the behind floor, half the floor is full of shopping and whiskey in the bar and stuff. So I haven't actually taken all over and see what it looks like. But we went the second day after opening. We went early in the morning, like 8 o'clock, because appeared that there would be nobody there. There was hardly anybody in the parking lot. So we made in the store and got out. We had a quick look around. And it's a really good year. I'm into that probably much with the tour, but I can believe it. So, we're not going to buy continue to that. So by the time all the hype that I'll be shutting down. Well, she really well just visiting Japan these days. Yeah, they showed her. That's what prompted me to just get on a phone with her and went to She'd never been to Japan. I used to have a lot of shots about, maybe that's going to be my preferred point for it. Or for a visit. So we went there and I wanted to do some skiing. And I've been in Vegas, so I can stay up on skis. I go cross country skiing was pretty tough for me. Never done it before. I've never really did. Skis are cross country skis are really narrow. The roller ski would be like this, and cross country ski is about half the width. It's actually rather strenuous activity, and you got to have some good will and good balance. And my balance, in my picture 70, so my balance in here used to be in the shit. I mean, it's a full hour. I'm like, wow. So I got out of this cross country skis and went to snowshoes, and we were towing this track around through the woods, the snowshoes for a while. That was part of me. But I didn't get Chester. I couldn't use it all. Maybe next year. But yeah, we traveled through Nagoya to Nagano, to Japanese Alps up in that area. That's where they had the Winter Olympics. I think so that nature. The Winter Olympics was in 96. Then we went to the military, we went to Jiretsu. Back then in Nagano, back to Nagoya, then we went to Kyoto, which is just to the north of Osaka. We did a lot, seen a lot, visited a few castles, watched Japanese brewer, ate some Japanese food. That was a good visit. And what was about 5 years ago, I go over to the window and 40 minutes after I go and then stayed there a week. And then some of the guys up to the cherry blossom. We just got back in February. I can't turn all of it up and no, we're going to the Philippines. Maybe next year we get to cherry blossoms. Scott, cherry blossoms. Scott, did you live in Oklahoma? Thanks for joining. Yeah, really. Was the first time doing that. Yeah, Dan, this is my first time going live. If you missed it, I had some technical glitches early on. I think what I did was I powered the Livestream on, and once everything got set up, I plugged the microphone in, and it didn't recognize it tonight. So I was live for 5 minutes with no audio. So I just knocked everybody off the shelf and still all over again. I probably walked a few years, but I flew back. And I got my audio one time. I said, that was my first time live. So didn't leave on the stare at myself on a computer screen. I don't want to stare at myself in the mirror. Top part shows high from the East Coast. What time is it there? It's maybe like early in the morning. It was really fun. I was watching from the early news. I was a weather was it hot? Probably a bit early. Although it's probably not as hot where the news on as it was in the summers. I moved out. So hopefully by the time we get that next week, we'll be roads with this. We have a down is in the hospital there. She sister-in-law took her away. Actually, the air sac. I'm not sure what they call it, the tendon returners, but sometimes they wouldn't swell up and where's that? They thought it was swelled up, and so we took her in. The first vet would come out, said he couldn't do it. Yeah, he can do it, but after we started, after a first inspection, he saw well, we can't be rushing it. So we had to send it on to Captain Logan. Got it out of Captain Logan, which, he was working on. She left it down there in the central, and they left her down there anyway, for a couple of days, and then we went back on. She said, oh, no, it's actually what she was telling us, too good. So we said, go ahead and operate, take the tumor out. And I got the tumor out, and then was just by doing every half of it. I just really found out that didn't get on the tumor. I'm talking about kilos, kilos. It's 10 years old. They're all in chemo. So let's take care of it a little bit. With that next week, we're going to make a decision. Sure. That's a really important. I think they have to assure us that the chemo was fixed. I don't think they can. I don't think you can assure anybody that chemo will fix the cancer. There's some tumor with malignant, but that only half all the cancer spread. There's right below it. That's sure the burn wasn't promoted. Because that's what we got towards more important. So we're happy. One day we'll saw me at the same time. Or says, well, very hot and humid. Well, surprisingly, they were a good step hot. And we still got northeasterly, really still can use that humid. I don't know. Doing Guam, it's hard to do. But the bears we have here in Guam, there's the island, he's only 8 miles wide at the widest, it's 4 miles at the north. So we're deeply embedded in the easterly trade winds. So there's no heat island here. That Manila, a big heat island. Where heat, sun bakes it with radiates to heat and hangs over the heat. But Guam is not a heat island. The only thing that radiates from concrete gets blown off the island. So you've got fresh air coming along on fresh breeze. Respiratory island. So now I think on the part of this, I usually put a system. I'm not a developer. I'm what? Not just substitute. And I'm not on the top of a truck, actually window, the windshield. And left the windshield at the truck. And now on the GoPro, I just drove around, so it's about an hour and a half. And when I said to me, hey, we're driving all over 2 miles, and Jerry says, hey, that's good beer. So we stopped in, I went to the beach party. I thought that's a really cool beach party. And that went around village. And you get some good bid money. So I moved out the other night there, and there were 2. Here we go. There's alluding to the temperature. By the time we got down the beach, it was 5:30. The sun was going down, but there was that heat. The heat was just, it was a cool breeze coming off the ocean. It felt so weird. I was like, you don't need air conditioning, it just felt weird. Um, so the winds here in Guam, you know, it used to be like living on the East Coast with a footprint somewhere. You got that fresh breeze coming off. But then again, the air that comes over the extreme western Pacific, or they call the Philippine Sea, that the Philippine Sea tends to be a little warmer there than it is here. And that's why there's so many tropical systems developed there because of the water, the seawater temperatures are a couple of degrees higher than they are here at Guam. So we get the air coming off cooling water, you get the air in the Philippines coming off the warmer water. So it's fluid there. Well, I'm just beautiful. Oh, let's see. Let's see. Well, we will UDC for 2 weeks last month. Prices really going up since 2019. Well, I've got that. Uh, we were up there very last fall. We went up to or Venice Grand Mall, which I think is up my radio district. Usually see something with like that pushing it. But yeah, it's like prices were shockingly higher than London. So I'm anxious to get back to Samar and see where the price of one there. Very anxious to get this coming. We started to get rain these last 2 weeks. Yeah, I think rainy season has already begun. And we have claimed it has begun in like an easy. East China and Southeast China. But the ridge that's like formulates this earlier, it's turning into Southeast Asia. It's keeping that with limit to the north. We might have gotten some Charlotte that was creeping down in it. We were going to lose our, but nothing like what's coming. That's going to get about that. This could be a big year for the Southwest monsoon. Ram said we have Tom and Bonos. We have more Bonos in the next. With my excuse, with all these local beach bear. I don't need no excuse. I just really get local beach bear working with it. I do spend my time at the beach with my air conditioning. We rarely get Bonos around Oregon. Typhoon Network can be a year ago. This was kept their house. And they're lets you power. Put that down a few of the power generator systems here, and they just brought some back online last week. So how it kills you, really, they go through these bouts of periods of load shedding. They can't seem to generate enough kilowatts to sustain the demand on the island. So what they do is they do load shedding. But the good thing about the Guam Palace over here is they put out a schedule. They say, okay, we're going to load shed for an hour in your area. It's always going to start at the top of the hour and always end at the top of the hour. So you know when it's going to happen. So if I know today that the power's going off 5 or 6 o'clock, we do until 7, I might go have a beer somewhere and work condition, and then take 2 beers and come back and work condition and back down. The nice thing about load shedding is it's pretty regular and well scheduled for it. So minutes been happening more it happens. It's only Philippines and the power involved, especially Samar. Power involved, it could be 6 hours, it could be 10 minutes, it could be 6 hours. You don't know. I have no clue. The more time you know is when they have the scheduled balance. They say longer for it. But they might take the power down all those Saturdays from 7 in the morning until 5 in the afternoon. Then we just all going to the beach. They can do it. Just we used to do it, right? All right. Rob's waiting for the winter season to start to cool off. Rayon, who's on the west coast of the lagoon, and I think you've got another vlogger up there in the new Pacific guy. Can't remember his name. I don't watch the other YouTubers or first ones. with you, and not on a regular basis. They're just too much drama. Every once in a while, I'll tune in when something's happening, like I hear maybe a foreign gets killed or jailed or something. Then I might tune into a few blogs just to see if they get on the this information. But a few months ago, I was logged in. Well, I got on my YouTube channel, I got a notification, not a notification, a suggested video. A couple of suggested videos popped up in Philippines. So I just take off there, watch them. It just led me down this drama hole, rabbit hole, drama hole. And couldn't believe all the dramas were like the Doom again. Got one guy knows your city. This is an Romo guy. He's got vengeance for everybody. It was they're like shooting flame arrows at each other. So I did a video about the drama on the Philippines. For that 2,000 views. But I don't get into the drama. They're watching all these guys. All right. There's a guy that lives in, who's a popular blogger, lives in Southern Lake. So you might know what they're talking about. But he's been there 5 years and he doesn't claim to know everything. I think he'd be the first to tell you he didn't know everything. But if you're gonna do a vlog, at least learn to pronounce some of the dollar words properly. I'm get tired of hearing people say Palawan when it's Palawan, or they say Palawan, it's Palawan. I try to have to imagine that. That's all. If it's a two-syllable word, like one day, the accent was on his second syllable. What? I'll tell you what this is. If it's a three-syllable word, the accent is always on another syllable. Salama. Allah would have the accent. Salama. If it's a four-syllable word, I think the accent is on the third syllable. But for example, Palava, three-syllable word, accent's on another syllable. In Asia, pronounced not that, but a. Boracay is another one. They call it Boracay. Boracay. It's not Boracay, it's Boracay. Second syllable accent. For some of these guys, they seem to be. I remember years ago when that Ruka, I think they did Ruka, or did maybe owned by Ruka for a time. He comes to the Philippines the first year, and well, he's a real estate investor. He's a relationship expert, Filipino relationships. He came to the Philippines. He founded a Filipino here, and broke up within the first 6 months. And then now all of a sudden he's a Filipino relationship expert. And let's move on our nationals because you got to take them all with a grain of salt. The guys that are allowed to give you advice, half the time the advice is not that good. They've got their facts all screwed up. They can't speak the language. I'm not expecting myself to be an expert on their topic that I know nothing about it. Then you've got these guys that come over here, guys been here 1 year, never been married to a Filipino. He still know all about this culture. Unless you're married to a Filipino for a long time, you're not going to figure this culture out with a weekend. That's just not going to happen. It's a very complicated culture. A lot of little intricacies and nuance in here. I've been married for 38 years to my wife. I still don't know everything. I know a lot, but I still don't know everything. But anyway, getting back to these guys, YouTubers and so forth. And now there's like every week there's a new YouTube channel starting up. I heard somebody that's worked for somebody today, and they said there's over 100 YouTube channels. So it's not progress. I don't know. Well, if they think they're going to make money at it, they better let it come. Very few people will make any money at being a YouTuber for things. I don't make anything out of it. Like, I'm just gonna spend everything I do make, and I'll spend more than I make on this channel. And then I found this stuff for growing. I put growers in the water and not new growers and things like this, and they get destroyed, you don't replace them. So the cost to go on the channel, depending on what kind of channel you're doing, to be doing right now. To those guys that just maybe vlog themselves with a cell phone like this, uh, it's no cost. I don't use a cell phone. Uh, I need a bit of time. Um, but they don't do any editing. They don't take the video and put it in a computer and actually edit it out and do any creative things with it and just talk to theirs. So I call it talking to. So I want to get more than talking to. I've said that 100 times. Well, that's a talking good. Mike Dandro from somewhere says, good morning. Morning, Mike. Thanks for joining. Aaron says, most foreigners mispronounce the place names here. Accent is the factor, I guess. Yeah, it's understanding how to pronounce the like the segments. Another age, they want us to most pronounced dollars in the Philippines. They said or or but it's usually pronounced or I, if you put a Y at the end of it, it's I. I lie. Graham says, Nassau will often correct my words. I don't think used to. I did a video a couple of years ago about things you learn when you're married to a Filipino. And when we're talking, so talking about in that video once, you've probably learned, if you've been married to a Filipino for about 10 years, you've probably learned all of Tagalog that she wants you to learn. My wife won't teach me. She don't want me to speak the language. I don't know. Maybe she got secrets. 38 years, 39 years. Well, we dated for 2 years before we got married. So when I did like 40 years together, I took all of her secrets. But no, she does have secrets. She's got shoes that maybe she would have followed them, but we went. She put them up in the time as well, but I never secrets. So anyway, getting back to these YouTubers in Philippines. That's another reason why I really like doing Livestream, because I wanted to talk about YouTubers in Philippines. That's not my group. I'm more a photographer than shoot pictures of big shoes and I don't cater to a lot of these foreigners. A lot of these guys tune over to they tune in to see picture of girls. I don't. This channel, I don't placate to people's color desires. That's not mentioning about. It's always been about take the right move at a time and show movement, stages of life, and how we experience it. But there are a lot of bites. If you go over here looking for advice, we can join you on Patreon and throw some support my way. I'll give you my 2 cents here. That I'm not going to dish out advice in that channel. Bear says, hi, my wife does not want me to speak the language. That's what I said. There's a method to their madness. Well, she'll help me out to now, like a little bit here or there. But when it comes to speaking Warai, forget it. She's not going to help me one bit. That's her native language. All right. Like most ones that I learned in English now. Warai, the word Warai means I have nothing. Doesn't mean method. Warai means I have nothing. But you throw a pa, PA, on the end of Warai, it means nothing meant. So when somebody asks me, Korea or Paul, you speak Warai? I'll say Warai pa. And they're like, this is right. They just kind of that was the discussion. Warai pa. attitude. You want to do what? So, Graham, back to your balance in the vet. Why would you have more balance in the vets? I would think, maybe because bending, branches, tree branches, taking lines down, that's one I could think of. What is associated with it's windy weather, so uh, maybe that's why we're always doing line filling because there's branches, wires long through branches everywhere. If they could ever uh, get all the, if they ever get the jungle set back over the power lines, then we wouldn't have to balance it with ours. But I would think that with the lack of rain, the hydroelectric power situation would be worse. You'd have less kilowatt output than the hydroelectric situation, and they need water for hydroelectric. I don't think you'd want to short of power. I don't, I don't profess to be an expert in power. All I know is I didn't work in this way. And I paid the bill. People used to, people used to ask me, how much is your electric bill? And I said, well, this go back to years. I said, I'm probably about $13 this year. $13. Oh, goodness. Electric bill is only $1,500. I said, that about air conditioning my whole house. I have 3 air conditioners that run all the time. Everything in the house, air conditioning. Just like here in Guam, everywhere you go, everything is air conditioned. Very few people on Guam live without air conditioning. So Pacific Island was a select few Filipinos. Right. Filipinos shouldn't be held heat here. It should be Pacific Islanders that they have the heat. But no, most people here have air conditioning. If you go to the Payless grocery stores here, it is so freaking cold in there. I mean, it's like 58 degrees. You go wear shorts and t-shirt on, you can stick on by which I can't figure out. I think the method to that now is food preservation and product preservation. By keeping the store temperature so cold, the product is doing the shortage on it. So they don't have as much spoilage, I guess. I don't know. Product look better, ration on the shelves. That way, they don't have as much spoilage. I'm the kind of guy, if I should have to go, if I buy something and the next person did tomorrow, that's still eat it. I don't worry about it. If I eat stuff that's expired 2 months, but then, now there's awesome, but if you subject something to the right heat and humidity, that might expire earlier than it normally would, but if you keep it in a dry, cool place, uh, it might last forever. Till it's expired. Oh, that goes back to my question, I can't forget who it was asking me about the donkey story where when Donkey opened up, the first thing Kmart put spam on sale. The can of spam here was regularly $5.49. They put the spam on sale for $2.99 to match the Donkey price, what it was when they opened up the following day. So Kmart had their spies already entrenched in the Donkey system because they came up with their prices before Donkey even opened. So yeah, that's what's going on now. There's some miniature price war going on. And there's we call it a price on chicken and pork. There's a local store here called American Grocery. Their prices on chicken and pork have come down. Payless has come down sometimes. Kmart's come down sometimes. So this is price war going on. Now you got to be super attentive to find out. And you got to be able to catch the shimmers. But I think in the long run, I really should get some share commission. With the long run, I think Donkey started out here with their pricing. At first, it's kind of first we go up to come down, but I think eventually Donkey will everything will right back to where that super bucks are right, super often there those are well around to be. So I think eventually, in the short term, I think it's going to be good. In the long term, I think it's all going to fall out to be the same as it ever was. But inflation, the federal government is saying that they don't have inflation under control like they thought it was. I seen that somewhere this morning. That I don't know. But anyway, the Fed they were expecting the Fed to start lowering interest rates this summer, but they don't think they're going to lower them now. If anything, they might even jack them up even higher. But if they don't stop printing money, we're all going to be in trouble. Send more money to Ukraine again. Well, 20% of the population of the United States can't afford to buy grocery, and Zelensky's eating prime rib every other day. Don't get me started there. Oh yeah, we just sent a bunch of. We sent some. What do they call them? Them Army tactical missile system. We just gave a bunch of them missiles to Ukraine. They launched one yesterday, the day before, and killed 100 Russian soldiers in one area. So, well, that's an American missile. We're just going to keep digging ourselves, shooting ourselves in the foot until we're drawn into this war. I don't know. I don't know what's going to go on. And if the United States don't stop antagonizing China, we might be in the middle of it out here in the Western Pacific too. I don't know if Guam would be a good place to be. We're going to get a big target painted over Guam. Philippines might be the best place to be if a World War III pops. Yeah, Rob also says we're still paying for all the COVID stimulus and money printing. Yeah, the money printing, that's what's driving inflation. That's what happens when you go off the gold standard. I was telling somebody the other day that that's one of the reasons we attacked Omar Gaddafi in Libya. Many people don't realize it. Gaddafi, we Americans in the West painted him as a madman, but he took that country from rags to riches. He bailed on the U.S. dollar as a world currency and based his local currency on gold. And he was into gold buying. They bought gold, which backed their own currency. And people in that country were doing pretty well. But because he pissed off Uncle Sam and went away from the dollar as a reserve currency, they were afraid he was going to start a trend, which has happened already. Now we got bricks. But back in the day, that's the main reason why we bombed Gaddafi, because he was a radical and he was going against the U.S. world norm, the world norms established by America. Yeah, let's put it that way. And I finally gave and bought the new Bitcoin ETF. Really? Well, I just sold all my Bitcoin like last week, and then it dropped to 57. What was it this morning? 57, 58. But I bought into these dog meme coins. I bought into a dog meme coin named Bonk, B-O-N-K. Yeah. And I've been kind of day trading with it, doing pretty good. I've made a couple $100 in the last few weeks with it. It's very, very cheap. It's like 0.60 and then 25 thousands of a cent or something like that. But anyway, I bought like 14 million shares. Figure if it goes to $1, I got me enough money for buy me a catamaran, a new one. Okay. Speaking of boats, got a message from a guy here a few weeks back. He's heading this way on a sailboat. It's a ketch, meaning a ketch has two masts. It's got a main mast and got an aft mast on the back of on the stern of the boat. And he was coming out of California, or he was on the West Coast somewhere. He lost his main mast, so he was down to his aft mast, which is half the size of the main mast. So he made it to Mexico, where I guess he ordered a new mast, a replacement mast, and he was going to pick it up in Mexico. And then when he got to Mexico, Mexican authorities tried to soak him for thousands and thousands of dollars in import taxes for this mask on top of the cost. I think he said it was just exorbitant, the amount of money that they wanted to charge him. He said, stick it up your ass. Keep my mask. Stick my mask up your ass. Anyway, he left Mexico and was heading this way. And he finally pulled into the Marshall Islands after 109 days at sea. He got in some wicked weather just south of Hawaii. And he couldn't go any direction but north, which is not the direction he wanted to go. Because he's only got the one mast and because of the wind direction. He said he was almost out of water, he was almost out of food, and he wanted to come to Guam. And I said, well, if you can, turn south and head to the Marshall Islands. So he did that, and it took him several weeks to get there. And I got a message from him yesterday. He pulled into the Marshalls, and his boat was misidentified as a drug smuggling vessel. And they ransacked his boat. They searched. They wouldn't let him pull in. Wouldn't let him off the boat. They wouldn't let him pulled in. They ransacked his boat. And then come to find out, he sent me a message this morning saying it was just all a big misunderstanding. They had the wrong number. The boat that was reported to him to be a drug smuggling boat, they gave him the wrong numbers and they just misidentified the boat. But now he's all cool. Everything's fine. They let him pull in. He's got some water. He got renourished. He got some food, and he's going to stick around, I guess, for a while in the Marshalls. And then, depending on how typhoon season goes, he's going to head this way to Guam. I guess the goal is eventually he wants to get to somewhere in Southeast Asia, probably the Philippines, and just have his mast made in the Philippines for a whole lot less money than he can buy one and have it shipped somewhere. So that might be an opportunity for me to jump on a boat and sail to the Philippines. Who knows? We'll see what that happens. Airborne 1. Sorry I missed you when I went to Guam. I think you were in Japan. Yeah, I think I was. We just went. A lot of times, every once in a while, one of my viewers will say, "Hey, man, I'm in Guam." Like the other day, I think he was online here earlier. Jack, he shows up in Guam and says, "Hey, come on, I'll buy you a beer." So I went out with him, had a couple beers with him, he bought me a couple of beers. And, yeah, every once in a while, one of my subscribers will show up and offer to take me to lunch or buy me a beer, and I'm always happy and obliged to do that with you if you want to. So, Airborne, when you get back to Guam, let me know. I'll let you buy me a beer. Back in the crypto, Rob, the FBTC ETF a week after the listing. I knew that was coming, but I don't even know how much is an ETF on Bitcoin. I have no idea. I didn't really look at it, but isn't that the ETFs are the ones that the government was giving them a hard time with? I think it is, but I've been dabbling in cryptocurrency, gosh, since 2013. I first bought Bitcoin in 2013. When it was like less than $200 a coin. I bought a couple. And before you all think that I'm rich, I'm not. What I did was I took that Bitcoin and I was using a company called coins.ph in the Philippines. So I loaded all my Bitcoin or just transferred it to my coins.ph account. And from that account, I could conveniently pay my cable bill, phone loads. I was buying phone loads for the kids and the nephews and nieces, and just with my Bitcoin. Before I knew it, I was allowed a Bitcoin. Then it goes to $60,000. But I bought some since then. But yeah, crypto is kind of interesting. I was on a blogging platform for several years called Steemit, and I was you write a blog and upload your blog to Steemit, your blog post, and depending on the interaction you have with your blog post, people would actually tip you with a cryptocurrency called Steem, STEEM. And for a while there, I was doing pretty good. I had a lot of steam built up, and I'd reinvest it back into my Steemit platform, which would actually compound itself. And over the course of a couple of years, I generated quite a bit of money. But eventually, Steemit fell apart, or they forked. They did a hard fork, and I don't know, hostile takeover, I guess you'd say. And I still have my platforms there, but I don't even blog on it anymore. I do blog still. I don't know how many of you have been around when I was blogging before I started vlogging. Oh, that's another thing. Some of these, there's a vlogger in Angeles City who calls himself a blogger. Blogger. He's a vlogger, not a blogger. Don't you know the terminology for his own undertakings? But anyway, on Patreon, I still publish my blog on Patreon. I've got over 100 blog posts. What I've done is repurposed a lot of my old blog posts. When I put my blog to rest, the blog wasn't paying any money anymore. It just, the traffic was starting to dwindle on blogs. When YouTube started getting popular around 2017, 2018, the blog traffic just died on a lot of blog channels, especially expat vlogs. Everybody started vlogging instead of writing, and so the people, I guess, don't like to read anymore. They'd rather watch a video. So the blog traffic really declined, and the advertisements weren't pulling in enough money to offset my expenses of operating the website. So I put the blog to rest, I think, in 2017. Well, now that I have my Patreon back, and Patreon has come a long way, I'm able to repopulate a lot of my old blog posts. I've revised some of them and written some new ones, and I put them on Patreon now. So if you are a Patreon subscriber, you have blog access. $5 a month. You can get blog access, and you can also watch my YouTube videos ad-free without interruption. I know you're all busy, so for $5, I'll save you some time. I could use the support. Speaking of support, I'm supposed to have Super Chat on this channel, and I don't know if I even got my Super Chat turned on here. I'm supposed to have it on. I have no idea how to operate it. Let's see. Send a highlight message. Yeah, it's there. For $2, I can send myself a message, but I won't. But you guys can. Somebody send me a Super Chat, see if it's working. Oh. Hello from Seattle. Eileen and I will be heading back to Beery in late July. Oh, Ralph. What's up, Ralph? In late July. Am I going to be around late July? No, I'm going to be gone again. Ralph lives up in Beery in northern Samar, and we live down in Calbayag. And we're kind of like this. He's from Seattle. Every time Ralph goes back to Beery, I'm gone again. I missed him last trip in September, October, November, that time frame. I think I missed Ralph. I missed you by just days. No, we ran into each other at the airport. Yeah, yeah, we were like at the airport. Oh, well, anyway, one of these days I'll get up there to Beery and check out your place and spend the night, and you can buy me a beer. I know you'd love to buy me a beer. Rob says Hong Kong just listed their Bitcoin ETF a few days ago. Oh, and I'm gonna check it out, Rob. I'm gonna check out the ETFs on Bitcoin. He only invests in Bitcoin, no altcoins. Yeah, I know. I've got some Bitcoin, but I like to dabble in the altcoins. Just, there's thousands of them, and I think the wife just came home. There's thousands of them, and any one of them could go to the moon. So it's just a big gamble. So, all right, somebody just sent me a super chat. I think my honeycomb is home. Yeah, somebody just sent me a super chat. Yeah, it's working. Great. $5. Who was that? Let me close this out. Who just sent me? Rob Marr sent me $5. Rob, you're my hero, man. $5. It works. I'm glad it works. Hey, send 10, see if that works. I'm just kidding. I do appreciate it though. That will help. Every little bit helps keep this channel going. I just realized the other day I got to buy something else. I had to buy a something. Oh, I bought this media mod kit for the GoPro external microphone. It's got a because if I'm out and the wind's blowing, which it does here in Guam a lot, I get a lot of wind noise with this camera. So I can't record with this camera when I've got a lot of wind noise. But this will solve the problem. But it's $80 it cost me for that little stupid little silly thing. So every little bit helps, buddy. I appreciate it. And let's celebrate the third super on a live stream. What does that mean? I don't know where that message came from. Shangri-La, Salem complex worked out. Oh, who is Shangri-La? I think I know who this is. He's talking about the Salem complex in Pasay. We discovered this years ago. It's just a little hole-in-the-wall joint, and I've done some videos on the Salem complex. If you're transiting through Manila and you got to wait, hang a layover for a flight or whatever, if you need to hang your head or lay your head on a pillow and don't want to spend money on a 4 or 5 star hotel, we go to this place called the Salem complex. Uh, the old hotel there was called Rogers Place, and then it had another little budget inn on the backside. But the Salem complex is a complex. It's a gated community. It's got like 4 streets. They've got Shakey's, they got Jollibee, they got a Metro Bank, they got a hair salon, they got a gym, they got 2 hotels, they got a Jollibee. They got everything you could, a little 7-Eleven or mini mart. They've got everything at the Salem complex you could possibly need for a 1-day stay or a stayover. Massage parlor. We always get a massage when we stay the night there. They've got everything. It's a gated complex, so that means you got no street people coming in and out there, no beggars. It's just a gated complex. It's secure. You got eateries, food, drink. There's a bar with a pool table, and maybe they used to have a dartboard. I'm not sure if they have it anymore, but there's a sushi joint there. If you go online, just Google Salem Complex, SALEM Complex. And it's right across the street from Terminal 4, which is the Cebu Pacific Cargo Terminal in Manila. If you stay at the motel there at the Salem Complex, I forgot the name. It's a new motel now. They changed owners and changed name, but it's free transportation to and from the airport. So, and I think the Terminal 1 or Terminal 2, it's like 10-minute drive from Salem Complex to the terminal. So it's close, and it's free shuttle service. And the rooms aren't fancy, but I don't need fancy. I just need a place to lay down and put my head. And as long as I got air conditioning and a hot shower, that's all I need. I'm getting up and going to the airport the next morning anyway. So I'm glad for our Shangri-La Salem complex worked out for you. Great. That's good to know. Okay. Bear with me here. This is all new to me. There's a lot of little features on here. And oh, I just realized I can hit that heart symbol. Means I love you, man. Okay. Well, I got 10 viewers, and only 9 of you have actually given me a thumbs up. So good job. So I don't know how long. I don't even know how long this live stream is going. It's been going an hour and a half. Wow. I didn't realize I was such a talker. Is there anything else you guys want to know about? Ralph, man, I'm sorry I missed you guys again. I'm gonna miss you guys again. How long you gonna be in Beirut in late July? How long are you staying? I can go back and forth if I want to. It's 3.5 hours. Oh, that reminds me. You know, we've known we were going back to the Philippines in May. We just didn't nail down any dates yet. So I just postponed making airline reservations, thinking, well, maybe I'll just wait another day. I'll wait another day, and then I thought, well, I better get it done before the seats are all sold out. So it was like on a Monday. I got on the PAL site. I always go directly to PAL. I don't mess with third-party sites because, you know, worst comes to worst with a third-party site, you have a hard time getting your money back. So I deal directly with PAL and my miles and everything. But anyway, I got online and started looking at airfares to Manila and then to Samar, and discovered that it was cheaper to go one way all the way to Samar than it was to go round trip from here and back to Manila. So I just bought a one-way ticket to Samar from here, from me and Terry. And it was $264 one way for per person. And then the very next day, I get a message from PAL saying, "Oh, we got a special going on, round trip from Guam to Manila, $299." I missed it by one day. And I sent PAL a message saying, "Man, you got my money. I just bought tickets yesterday." They said, "Well, we hope you can make it. Keep watching our site for the latest promos, and we hope you can make the next promo." That's just like PAL. I've been loyal to them, and they keep sticking it to me. I think they put plastic in my food last time because I complained on their online survey. I found a piece of plastic in my food. Well, anyway, so yeah, it was cheaper to fly one way for some reason than it was to fly round trip. So I just booked one way. And now I'm thinking we're going to Samar one way. That leaves us open on the outbound trip. We've been talking about maybe just going to Hong Kong and over to Macau for a couple days and lose all my Bitcoin there and come back to Guam from China. But we don't know. So anyway, we're on an open-ended travel thing this time. Shangri-La, is the dive shop still around? Oh, Shangri-La is Ralph. Ah, okay. The dive shop in Calbayag, yes. Um, Anton, a Canadian guy, runs the dive shop in Calbayag, and he will be there during this trip. And I plan on doing a couple dives with him at Malahog Beach Resort. I think that's where he operates out of. And it's just a few miles north of where we live, so it's real convenient for me. So he's got all the equipment, and I think I'm going to bring my own mask because masks are finicky with me. They either leak or they don't, and most borrowed masks that I wear will find some place to leak. So I got my own mask. I'll bring my own mask. He can lend me a snorkel, uh, but he's got the tanks and he's got the BCDs, and I don't even need a dive watch. I don't go lower than 60 feet most times. Just gets real complicated when you do that. So, yeah, but I'm gonna do a couple dives with my own backs. Last time we were there, he was gone, so and the weather wasn't all that great. But he was telling me all the work that she called later. Water visibility, according to him, the water visibility has been pretty good. So, yeah, check out Airtown at the Malahad Beach Resort. Oh, and by the way, I mentioned this earlier, but I'm gonna try something new with this, not new, that live stream is new. I'm gonna try something different when I close this live stream out. I'm going to repurpose this. I think I'm gonna put it into my editor and repurpose it, maybe throw some visuals and some graphics or repost it as a video. Uh, so I don't know this bounce where I got my telephone, my eyes, you can see where it's there you go. That way with the dive shop, I could put like information on screen or information on the screen to the dive shop and more and all that stuff. So we get it this video, we put this in, come down and watch it again. Let's see. What are my questions? Many people. And my next live stream, so I think I'm gonna walk this up, an hour and 40 minutes. The Lois got home, she was talking about. So I took her there to Jonas, through Colorado Bay. It's Saturday. I can go to the beach later on, so they got there down. It's going on 9:38 with a cup of coffee and then I can beach. So hey, thanks for all showing up. Thanks for all showing up. And, and I continue on generally on the next one. But, I think this is a weekly thing. It's more minutes. Well, real technical issues. But, and one thing about why I would have to repurpose this video. If you see some guys doing live streams and they like putting pictures of graphics up on the screen, you do a split screen. You need other software for that, like OBS. I have OBS software, but they're not easier. Prism is a little software package. There's a bunch of different software packages, but you have to run a live stream through the software package, which gives you now it's on screen video options. Where to import any videos or other clips and folders or graphics. Share, split the screen and all that stuff. Oh, I was already got that with it. This is this easier this time. Rounding up to YouTube studio and get a live stream and be done with it. So, all right, guys. For me, for Randy and my wife Terry, who couldn't have making a appearance. That's exactly what I appreciate y'all showing it and thanks for terrorism support me and when you can, help this child involved. And brother. So I'm out there. See you. Shaking out of Hilbert. From Brother Somewhere. So all right, guys. Have fun. Remember, never give up on the. See you later.